Hey guys, this is MediaGaze, and welcome to my 50th video. First off, I wanted to say thanks to my subscribers. You guys are awesome. And also thanks to anyone who watches my videos. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, you should, because I'm going to be doing more Let's Plays in the future. And one of the games I'll be playing is Minecraft. I didn't know much about the game. When I first saw it, it looked kind of blocky to me, so I didn't really check it out. But lately some of the gaming channels I watch have been playing it, and I looked at some of their videos, and I'm really impressed with the things you guys are making. As some of you know, I like adventure games and killing monsters and looking through dungeons. So this is really my kind of game. I think it's cool how you can tunnel and build with all the stuff you get. So I've only had Minecraft for a week now, and I made my first world to use for my Let's Play with you guys. Then I made a test world so I could run around and check out the game mechanics and how to do basic stuff. I don't want to be a total Minecraft noob when I start the Let's Play. But there is still much I don't know about the game yet, so any veterans probably will laugh at some of the stuff I do. But I'm still learning. And I'll also be asking questions about gameplay as I go, so anyone watching that knows a lot about the game can leave a comment, and that would be cool. Now I'm going to take you guys through my first week of Minecraft on my test world and show you what I did and some of the things I built. Okay, so this is where I spawned, and this is the first thing I saw. It's this little waterfall, and then ocean. I have it set on low distance right now, because it makes it a little less laggy when I record. So the first thing I did was I ran over here, and this wasn't here to begin with. I made this little path, so when I respawned I know where to go. And I came through here, and this is where I built my first little this is going to be my first little house I was going to build. And I built this little tower thing so I could, so if I wandered away, I could see it from a distance. And it actually worked pretty good, that I could see it from pretty far away. So that was my first little marker, so I wouldn't get lost. Because that's one thing in this game that I've noticed, is that right away, if you don't, before you get a compass or anything, you can get lost if you just kind of wander away from your house. And it takes a while to find your stuff again. So this is a little bridge thing I experimented building across the water, and that worked pretty good. So I could run across to the forest over there and get trees. And then I came over here to this mountain, and I started digging inside this mountain for my materials to build my house. Now as I was starting to build my house, I was hearing strange monster sounds from down below. So, lo and behold, I made my house right on top of a dungeon. So this is the first room I started living in, this room right here. Because I'm playing on hard difficulty because I wanted it to be more of a challenge, and I've been told, or I've seen on the videos, that playing on hard is the best way to do it, and it's more challenging. So this is my first little room I made for my items, and I started crafting stuff in here. But at first I didn't have doors, and I had another way here. But I didn't have doors on here, which later became a problem when the monsters started coming up these hallways, because I was sitting right on top of this vast dungeon. So this went down here, and also went up here, and this was my back way out through this door, and that took me to here, and that was another cave entrance to the surface that I had discovered as I was digging around up here. And as you can see, eventually I made a portal here. We'll get to that later. So I went down here, and the first thing I did, I found this giant dungeon, and I went down here, and down below there is monster spawners, a couple monster spawners and stuff. Nothing too big. So that was my first encounter with a monster spawner. It was this one. It was really close. It was these spiders. And you can see I didn't really know how to stop them yet, so I just kind of built all this stuff around them. And I think that contains them. I'm really not sure how all that works yet. I think you need a certain amount of light, and I think they've changed it now where you can just put one torch on the top. So now, like, you might wonder why I have all these torches on the wall. I was trying to figure out a good method to mark. I don't want to get lost when I was exploring down here, because that's something I've noticed people do a lot in these when they're playing. They go down into these areas and they get totally lost because they just charge down as far as they can go, and they can't find their way back, or they die and then they can't find their stuff. So I was trying to make like arrows and stuff to point where to go, and it actually worked pretty well. I'm gonna probably find a better system as I go, and I'll figure something cool out. But down here, this way it's good too. So whenever you see a lot of torches, you always know you're going in the right direction. Like over here, on this side, I only have like a few torches, so you know that I haven't really explored this area too much. And you can also see that I haven't put any stairs in or anything. So you would automatically know you don't need to go that way. So that's another thing I started doing, is building these steps. And so any time I went down, I would build new steps and work my way down. And it really helped when you're trying to come back up and you know exactly where to go. So down here I got pretty far down and I found this lava down here. And I dug around in this area. And so then I found this, came up to here. Got my torch arrows. I'm going to try to figure out a better system where I don't have to waste so many torches. It looks pretty cool though. So you know exactly which way to go. It's like little beacons. And right here was a mine shaft, abandoned mine shaft. Let's go a little further. Yeah, you can see another thing I was doing was I put 2 torches on the end of a dead end. So you'd always know where you're at a dead end, because it'll have 2 torches at the end, like that. So when we walk down here, and then in here was more of the abandoned mine shaft. So there's a lot more stuff in here. I haven't even fully explored all this yet. But this is just my test world, so I didn't want to go too far and do too much stuff. So I want to do that for my Let's Play with you guys. So I kind of dug some of the wood out of here and looked around here a little bit. You can see there's some more stuff. And I was finding chests and all kinds of cool stuff and with treasure. But I found a lot of buckets actually. I ended up with like 7 or 8 buckets. And I didn't even have to make any. Well, I made a couple at first, but then I didn't really need them after that. So as you can see, I can just run straight, follow the arrows, or follow my arrows of torches back to where I need to go. And I always have steps, so you always know that you're going in the right direction. So back up to here. And up to here. I hear something. What is that? Oh, it's just me walking. Okay. I can see that's the wrong way because there's blocks there. And running right here is the main stairs that go back up here. Whoops. And back to the main room again. And I try to leave these doors closed because this is what happened. I had made another room here for more storage, and then I built my furnaces in here, and that's when I started making my stone and my all my bricks and stuff and my stairs. So I had this cool little thing in here, but I didn't have a door here. It was just wide open. So one day I'm sitting here just making my stuff, and this all of a sudden just boom, I exploded, and the creeper came in and just blew me up, and all my stuff was just everywhere. It was such a mess. So that's where I learned that you have to put doors up if you're living in a dungeon, and you got to keep them closed because they will creep up on you while you're not looking, and they'll blow you up. Which is actually, it was, you know, it's kind of annoying, but it's fun. It's more challenging when you have to rebuild stuff that gets blown up, even though it's kind of a pain. To me, it makes it more. That may help me to learn that I need to put doors up when I do stuff like that. So I have all these sealed off now, and then I made that one down here. I seal all that out. Which sometimes it's weird. Sometimes I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up, and then all of a sudden there'll be monsters in here. Which, if you know, there must be some ways they get up from some of those dark corners down in that dungeon that I haven't filled in. But somehow they get up here. So, oh, another thing I was going to show you down there was that I didn't show you the other direction. So I had explored this direction first, like I showed you guys. But then there was right here was another direction going down right by my main house area. And down here you can see all this crater area. This became my creeper area. So whenever a creeper would come, I would run him down here and blow him up in here so he wouldn't destroy my stuff. And that worked out pretty good. So over here, I'll run a little bit. You can see my arrows pointing. Now this is pointing this direction, and this all loops around eventually, actually. But that led to another area over there. And then this one, you came over here, and you can also go over there. I came down to here. Wait. Follow the stairs. And then here was a giant canyon thing. It's like lava flowing there. So I checked that out later. I made a little way down. And as you can see, there's some redstone in here. Eventually, from the nether, because right down here was the lowest point, and I found lava down here and obsidian, and then lava, and there was water flowing. So I also kind of diverted the water around, and it made it so there was a ton of obsidian here. So I mined all that up. We made a little pool here for my. I was trying to fill in. I was trying to figure out how to stop the lava, and then I figured I guess I found the best way is to use this gravel, and it covers it up pretty good. So I went a little deeper, and you can see that I haven't even explored on much past this area. So I got my obsidian, and so I'm like, what I wanted to do was make a portal, and I'd seen in a video how to make a portal, and I wasn't really sure what I needed there. All I know is that they could get glowstone. I wasn't really sure what else is there for me to get. So I'm going to find my way back up. We'll just follow the steps, and we know the way. We know we don't want to go that way because there's no torches. So it's a pretty cool system. I mean, it takes up a lot of torches, which is hard because it gets expensive. I mean, it takes up a lot of your coal, and then you can't use it for fuel to make your other stuff. And I tried to use lava as fuel, which I guess works, but then you probably have to keep making buckets, and I'm still trying to figure out the best way. I started using sticks eventually. Is that a Enderman? Enderman? I think it was. Anyways, he's sidetracked me now. Where am I? Here we go. Close this. Well, a spider. That's what it was. You may hear me get surprised sometimes, because sometimes the stuff surprises the hell out of me. And it freaks me out.